Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning marketing show with Ruthie Rocks, Ruth Allbrand, and I am Marketing Max. Today is episode 178, if you can believe that. Broaching on the 200 mark here on the show. And today we have a special guest, Cammie Mosley from AHG Home Warranties joining us today. She's going to talk about all the nuances of the home warranty process and how realtors and loan officers can work with her to offer a better product and be more professional in their services and well round all the services they can offer to a client. So before we get to Cammie, though, Ruth, what is happening in Las Vegas?
Good morning, Leslie. Good to see you. Let's see here. We got some stats today, and
oh no, she did it again. She switched herself off. Ruth, we cannot hear you now.
Now you can. I wanted to get this over here. The flower was in the way. So I have some exciting news today. I'm so excited today because this has been weighing heavy on me. Great morning, Miss Cookie. Thank you for joining us today. It's a beautiful day. So let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, we had 8,114 available homes, went down from 8,200. So we're happy about that. And we had 80 closings yesterday. That's good news. And we put 85 homes under contract. And we just listed 177 homes. So the numbers are in our favor. Absolutely. So, my concern is the media. The media wants to slaughter us in May. They tried it in April. I think they said we were 30% down year over year, April over April. However, let's look at the stats. Year to date, we've sold 13,612 homes. In 2019, however, we sold 14,792 homes, which is 1,180 more than we've sold year to date this year. So but we're only down 8%. So it's not the end of the world. The sky is not falling, as I say. And if you look at month to date, I predict that April will be our worst month. And here's why. It's an educated prediction. So month to date, we've sold 1,432 homes. The price is around $342, so it's ticked up a little bit. It was $334. Right. And last year, we had sold 2,642 homes at a price of $324. Now, that's a difference of 1,210 homes. And so, we are down this month 46% so far. But I dug deeper and I found out that in May, we have 2,218 homes that are going to close by the end of this month, in addition to the ones that we've already closed. So our sales are going to be 3,650 this month. And that is awesome. That is totally awesome. And that will be only down like 12% from last May, because last May we sold 4,133 homes. So Dr. Young, who is the chief economist for NAR, had predicted that we would drop off in pending home sales year to date only 19%. And I think if you do the math, that's about what it's going to be. And that's going to be the worst case. And then the other good news is the April median price was up 7.4%, which we reflect that as well. Our prices are up. So supply and demand is kicking in. And Mark Cuban, you are so wrong when you said we're going to tank. You are so wrong. I'm here to tell you. Little old me is telling big old Mark Cuban, you are wrong. So
did he say that Vegas market was going to tank or the real estate market was going to tank?
The real estate market was going to tank 50%. He was so wrong. And he said it on national news. And he got his stats from San Francisco and Australia or something. It was ridiculous what he said. So we have passed the low months for real estate. We are coming out of this and it's all because of supply and demand. There is more demand than there is supply of homes. And that is just basic economics, everybody. And then our energy, our oil and gas and shale, those prices are down 10% per month this year, which is a drop of 40%. And guess what? If people aren't spending money for energy, they have more money to spend for houses. So I think that's good too.
And people are saving right now.
Yes, they are.
There's going to be some pent up demand, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now as well, because people are not spending and they're saving.
And what's happened now is we notice that people are the prediction is by Dr. Young, the chief economist for NAR. He's predicting that people are going to start moving out of the large cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York and Chicago, and they're going to move to smaller communities. Well, not only may they move to smaller communities, they may move to Las Vegas.
Right.
So we are still with our $23 billion worth of projects on board, with all these jobs coming online. I just think that we're just headed in the right direction. And Sisolak said yesterday, I will quote him, he said, "It's important that when visitors come here and when they start coming back to Las Vegas, they know that this is the safest place in the world to come for a vacation." And he also said, and to make sure that there is a tracing effort in place, tracking, I think he meant, there's testing in place, that they feel that they're able to come here, enjoy themselves, and not take the virus back home. That's that. And we're opening, the Wynn's opening 4 restaurants next Friday. And those are on the circumference of the casino. So you don't have to walk through the casino to get to them. And that's the Allegro, which is an Italian restaurant. Great pizza, great pizza. Jardin, I haven't been there, but it's a more of a cafe type style, beautiful setting. You look on the gardens, that's why I think they call it the Jardin. And then the lakeside, which you're by the lake, it's a beautiful seafood restaurant. And Mizumi is sushi, and the Southwest Steakhouse, which is, of course, steak, and that overlooks the big fountains as well. So that's going to happen Friday, May the 30th. And you don't have to walk through the casino. They've made sure you do have to have your temperature checked. So the other thing that I think people might want to know is that for the health and the safety protocols, the employees have to be tested for COVID-19. And they're going to keep the casinos at 50% capacity, and they're going to make temperature checks a requirement. So other protocols they're doing is digital menus, plexiglass barriers set up, distancing between dining places, gaming tables, and gaming machines. So I think that we're headed in the right direction, and people are just going to start coming back. And coincidentally, we're opening back up in the summertime. So that's when people want to come and sit by the pool and hope and social distance. But I just think that we're headed in the right direction. I'm so excited about our real estate market. And I'm so happy that Dr. Young, who predicted this would happen, it's happening. So,
yeah, Ruth, I haven't seen you this fired up in a while here. This is exciting.
We're solid on pricing. We've got serious buyers. We have more demand than we have supply. I would guarantee you, if you put a house on the market today, it'll be sold within 30 days. You will get it sold. There's no question in my mind. And these figures, I see these every day, and they're reflecting that. And I think that the only people that are not going to get through this are the people that don't have fundamentals. Basic fundamentals in business are the key to getting through any crisis. And so if you've got good fundamentals, obviously, like Victoria's Secret, they're closing over 200 stores. There was something basically wrong with their fundamental marketing through this era. I mean, they just didn't get it together fast enough. To do an online business or whatever.
Right.
Whatever they did, they did it wrong.
Yeah, so, their issues stemmed way before this COVID-19.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, marriages are having problems because they don't have basic fundamental, things in place, like, in sickness and in health, and when you have money and when you don't have money, or when you have to live together. So lots of things have gone on here, and yes, I am excited. I'm very excited. Because I just love Las Vegas, and I love real estate, and I'm happy to be here and see that everybody's getting through this.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a loud promise here in this town, and we didn't make the same mistakes. The builders didn't make the same mistakes as they did in the 2007-8 crisis, which was, an overbuilding and oversupply. It's actually a shortage. So we're still, we were lingering down at the 6,000 inventory mark, right, for a while. And now we're just up to 8,000, and that's still 3.5 months supply.
What's 2.5? Well, at 3,000 to 3,500, that's about 2.5. Yeah,
right. Exactly right.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see once the whole city opens up. What is it? He said phase. What Sisolak said yesterday. He's having a press conference June 6th, which is Tuesday, or I'm sorry, June Tuesday, and he said what June 6th or 4th is the basically gaming operations can open at their discretion. So it's long overdue.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
excited. I cannot wait. When's the M opening up? That's 10 minutes from my house. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
I love that seafood bar they have. Have you been to the seafood bar? Yeah, that's a good one.
Is it a bar? Okay.
It's a you sit at the bar, but they cook the seafood. You can kind of see them cook it in front of you. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the M used to be really, locally famous for their seafood buffet with free beer and wine. I don't know if people know that, but for people who want a pre-party right before they get into the strip, I don't know if they're going to come back. Buffets are in question. That's going to be interesting too. Buffets are going to be in question here after this pandemic.
And the media said no more buffets. The buffet life is over, but we'll see. I can't imagine that.
Yeah. Who knows? So I don't know the economics on if a buffet is most likely a loss leader for casinos, much like everything else. But all of them have it for whatever reason. It's got to be working somehow.
And just to mention everybody, the commercial real estate market is going to change. That's another one of the predictions of the economists, that commercial real estate, retail, strip centers, shopping centers, they're going to change. That they may be the biggest losers here.
Right. I want to risk. Yeah. With remote work from home now, a lot of companies are going to reconsider, leasing out office space.
Right.
But industrial and warehouse space, I have a feeling that that's going to continue to be a boom in that space, in that sector for sure.
So, I love Las Vegas.
Right. The key that Ruth wants to remind everybody is just keep working. Right. I mean, it doesn't matter what the market does. It matters how you're going to attack it. And different times call for different tactics. But one thing stays the same, which is the fundamentals, and hard work will always be a component of being successful, no matter how you slice it in every environment. So, all right. Any other interesting stats before we get into our guest today, Ruth?
I think I'm good. I'm good.
I'm
good. I'm happy to have Cammie here. She's been a supporter of mine for months and months, and we finally got it together.
Yeah, perfect. So I always like to ask the first question, because I'm curious myself, is are you a native of Las Vegas, or how did you end up here, and where did you come from?
It's a long story, but I'll condense it for our time purposes. I am actually born and raised in northern Utah, Ogden. Happy to be an Ogden girl. And then about 5 years ago, my family, we needed to change. My husband was working a lot out of DC. He's former military, and we had sold our engineering firm in Utah, and we needed to change. I wanted to be by the beach. We went to Charleston, South Carolina for 4 years. Ruth, I know you're from Georgia, so I was right there. Atlanta's a great town. I can't remember what city you're from, but
Atlanta.
Oh, okay. So
it's
an interesting place. I will say that, especially when you're from the Rocky Mountain area, and different culture, but we enjoyed it. We loved being near the water. It was great. And my daughter was still in Utah. I have 2 older kids from my first marriage, and I just couldn't convince her to come to the South. We loved it, but we kind of felt we were on vacation all the time, even after 4 years. So it was time to come back west, and we ended up coming back last August. We were going to go to California. Ruth talks a lot about California and housing prices. Well, guess what? That's why I'm in Las Vegas.
Okay. Good choice financially.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. My husband loved that there's no state income tax here. We had some family moving. I have a lot of family up in Reno and Carson City, family in Utah. So it was kind of an in-between. I love the weather, and me too, Ruth. There's something, I drank the Vegas water. I love it here. It's beautiful. I found Ruth and have been very motivated, because some mornings through this pandemic, you wake up and you go, oh, it just feels this heavy weight. But you listen to someone uplifting that knows what they're talking about, that has the tenure in the market. And it's been very motivating for me. I'm not a real estate agent, but I look at what I do as my own little business as well. And I run it very much the same as real estate agents do. So that long story short, I've been here going on a year, bought a home right before this all happened. We'd been building for 6-7 months, and we were crossing our fingers that something wasn't going to go wrong, but we got lucky, and I'm very grateful for that. So,
So are you in your new house now?
Yes, we've been here since
fantastic.
literally we closed on March 27th, and we were sweating bullets. We were in this little condo with all our stuff everywhere, and my kids are like, "Are we going to close, Mom?" So it's been great. It's exciting, and I've got a bunch of family here. I know you saw a little ninja in the background earlier.
Yeah.
I have a house full of people right now, so I can't believe how quiet it is. But
So you said you've been here 4 years now, right?
No, I was in Charleston 4 years. I've been here going on a year in Vegas.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, you're a new transplant to Las Vegas.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
Right. And well, last summer wasn't too hot. It wasn't a record summer. The summer before that was a record summer. 20 days straight over 110. That was rough, but better than Hot Atlanta. I can tell you the weather. Right, Ruth? Exactly right. You're now in the dryer, not the dishwasher, as they say. From a heat standpoint. Perfect. Now, did you join American Home Guardian? What is it? Guardian. Guardian. AHG home warranty before, or did you find employment here with them when you arrived?
I actually started the process when I was still in Charleston.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was a 3 or 4 month process, and my background is actually in title. When I was in Utah, I was licensed escrow and I was a title rep, and man, it was a blast. But it was right before 2008, and we were making money. It was great.
Oh yes, the 2006, 2007 stretch of real estate.
Man,
I refer to that era of in real estate like the Wall Street era in the 80s, where it was just like everybody was making money, everybody was spending money, unfortunately, and everybody in this town was a buzz. And it's actually coming back a little bit. You know, I mean, the buzz is definitely different this time around, but there's something much more sustainable where with the Raiders coming in, the Knights, the Golden Knights come in a few years back. So interesting. All right. So tell me, I'm always curious. I like Ruth, I am also considering a home warranty right now because I have an old air conditioning unit like Ruth, and her story scares me just a little bit here. And so tell us a little bit more about, the home warranty process. Why is that important? Why is it's a value add to real estate agents and loan offers in general in the process?
I like to look at home warranty. The interesting thing about it is it's very unique because we are warranting something we did not manufacture, it's sight unseen. And basically we say, hey, you own a home, or you own a condo or a townhouse, or you're an investor, and we will go ahead and guarantee and warranty these products. It's kind of crazy when you had no control over any of it. There's an inspection, sure, but we all know inspections that they don't have the time, or it's not getting the nitty gritty to see how if it's operating during that inspection, that 2 hours, it's good to go. So what you can look at home warranty as is it's a way to save money out of pocket. It is not an end all be all. Every home warranty has exclusions, but it's another layer of protection. Everyone has home insurance. You put that home warranty on top as another layer. If you look at it like, okay, I come out and let's say you pay $525 for your policy, or the seller does at closing. Now you have this peace of mind on the side that if your dishwasher breaks or your AC goes out, that you can call you. Yes, everyone charges a service fee. It's usually between $65, $80, some are a little higher, $85. And you have a vendor come out and they assess the program, they do diagnostics, and then you get it fixed. Well, that's the great process. That's a perfect world. But what's important about home warranty as well is making sure you read the policy.
Yes.
You don't have to be an expert as a real estate agent. That's why I'm here. That's why we have home warranty reps, so we can be that expert in your corner. But I encourage agents all the time, please have them. If they're looking at 3 different companies, have them read the contracts. Ours is fairly short. Some of them are 8 pages, some are 3. but it is to their benefit to know that, because if you know up front, oh, they're not going to fix my AC, they're not going to pay for refrigerant, this is included, that's not. They're not going to, if the AC unit or the dishwasher is more than 20 years old, they're only going to pay half out, which what they would over a newer unit. So those are all the things you need to consider and look at when you're choosing a home warranty company. It's not just about cost. It's not just about service fee. It is definitely about what is covered, what is excluded. And you have to be very careful with wording, because some of it's lawyer speak a little bit. And when we send out our contract, there are very specific exclusions that we have clients initial and sign. So we know, especially with AC, especially in Vegas, we also cover Texas, Arizona, Utah, and Idaho. So across the board, you know, some pretty warm areas where AC is paramount. So that is very important that we get that. Yeah, there's our contract. Yeah.
I like this. Let's see if I can get it in there. I like this because it tells you exactly what's excluded, what's included, and what limits you have. It's the
Right.
This turned me on.
In one page,
Yes.
with bullet points instead of paragraphs like they do in commercial or insurance policies.
I mean,
yeah, I like the at a glance as a salesperson.
Yes.
Believe me, it's so much easier.
So much easier. Yeah. I mean, and one of the other things that I really like, Cami, is that you're a national company. You're not just within the city or the state, and you have a reputation. That's when you're national. If you don't have a good reputation, you're going to go. You know, you're not going to make it. And I love the fact that you are national and that you do use licensed, bonded, reputable vendors, because we have a property management company, 400 homes, and the some of the home warranties we've had in the past were terrible because they sent out second-class vendors. And I excuse the expression, but these were people that didn't know how to fix what they came to fix. Or, you know, and then it's more time, and you got a tenant that's refrigerator doesn't work, or, you know, little things. It's just amazing how important it is to have. The most important thing to us is that people are qualified to do the work that needs to be done in a timely manner.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Ruth. HomeServe, the company that acquired us in the third quarter last year, they have like a portal, and every vendor, they are very strict. And every vendor has to go through their vetting process, and every vendor has to use their system. So we can monitor. So you can, this happens June 22nd, Ruth, I mentioned this a little bit. It's an Uber-like model where you can see when the vendor's coming. There's even a lot of times there will be a picture of the vendor. So when they come to your door, you know it's the right person. So it's also a safety issue. And so
that's huge. That is huge.
If you call someone, if you Google plumbers and you've never used them and you don't know who it is, you don't know necessarily if they're licensed and bonded. You don't know if it's safe for them to come into your home. But if you use a home warranty company that has that resource and that recognition, as you mentioned, now you can, it's another peace of mind nugget that you have using a home warranty, that you're not just letting anyone in your home. Sometimes, you know, stay-at-home mom with little kids, to let a gentleman in your home at 2 p.m. without someone else there can be scary. I've been in that position before. So it's kind of like a third party that's making sure you're not just, that you're safe when you have people come into your home. And like you said, that knows what they're doing. They know how to diagnose it, and they know how to fix it.
And some companies were using, that we no longer use, they were using parts that were secondhand parts, if you will. They weren't putting in quality new parts.
That's a huge concern as well. Yeah, and that's part of HomeServe's vetting process as well. Is it's top of the line. I mean, they do not mess around with this, because they have a great reputation for customer service, and they just won't take anything less. And you should expect that from your home warranty company, whomever you choose, that they are vetting the vendors, and that they aren't just, you know, letting anyone in their program. It's very important, especially right now, you know, safety precautions, social distancing, masks, everything. We've been doing that since day one. So, and it's going to continue. HomeServe's not stopping that anytime soon.
Got it. So how are you seeing realtors utilizing the home warranty in the sales process or the listing process, or you know, to either get more clients or offer a service that is better than the other realtor?
A lot of times, what I've seen a lot of agents do, and it's not always easy to afford it, but they will buy it for
Mm.
their client. If the seller doesn't offer that, I have an agent that I work with. He's a very good friend of mine, and he always pays for that. And that gives you an edge. That gives them that other level that of security that I mentioned before. That's a big deal. And if you don't have to pay for that as an agent, that comes straight out of your commission if you do that. But if you have a rep that you trust, that they can call on the weekend, that they can call after 5 and say, hey, I have some home warranty questions. Real estate agents know real estate. They don't have to know lending. They don't have to know home warranty. They don't have to know inspections. They need top level, high level information, of course. But if they have a rep they can trust and say, talk to this person, just like they do with the lender. Here's my guy. You want that guy. You need, as an agent, to be successful, you have to have those professionals around you that can make you look good in a transaction.
Right.
And I talk to clients all the time. I say, please, I'm happy to answer these questions. And I love talking to people. That's why I do this. And I love meeting new people. So I'm happy to do that and talk about something that, it's a business of helping people achieve their dreams of home ownership. And home warranty is a piece of that because we're helping protect that dream. So I'm happy to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. So tell us, there's another piercing question I have during this whole crazy situation that we have in our country and around the world right now. How has the warranty, both on the consumer side and also working with the vendor or the real estate agents and loan officers, how's the business changed or shifted during this period of time? Have you seen any significant difference going through the last 3 months?
I would say the difference is it's a challenge because part of account executive's job for home warranty, we go into an office, it's relationship based, just like everything else in real estate. It's building trust, it's knowing your product, and it's being face to face with people. Obviously, that this has presented difficulties doing that, but the Zoom meetings and everything have really helped kind of keep that. And the offices that I go into all the time, it's been so fun to do that and see their faces regardless. So it's been hard. Ruth would attest to that. It's been hard for people because it's a big adjustment, and everyone in this business, you're in it because you like to be face to face. You like to talk to people. So this has been a challenge. But as far as on the business side, we've seen an uptick in renewals or people calling us and saying, I do not want my home warranty to lapse. Because yes, they may have to pay the $59 a month,
right.
But now they know if their AC goes out when it's 115 in Las Vegas, that they're protected. And that's a big deal. And we have not had any issues protecting. We have not had any, disruption in service at all. They were very good about, getting everyone home, working from home. And it's been great. You mentioned a lot of companies are looking at, do I need this big space for all these employees? Can we just work from home? And it's certainly customer service people, they're on the phone all day, they can do that, or they're doing half from home and half at the office. But those renewals have been huge. It's been, there aren't a lot of closings, no one's buying a lot of home warranty. So we have seen a little, it's almost been, my business in the last couple of months has almost been right on with what the market's done in Las Vegas. Within a couple orders. It's crazy. I told my sales manager, wow, if the market's down 31.4%, guess what? So are my orders. That's just how it's been. But we have to stay encouraged. Like Ruth said, we have to keep working and we have to stay motivated. And when you have someone you can go to every morning for 30 minutes and hear positive remarks and hear, that we are moving forward and there's a lot to look forward to in the Las Vegas market. And that's why I keep listening to Ruth.
So have you found that agents are more receptive to hearing from you or less receptive from hearing from you and their availability during this period over the last few months?
Actually, it's been funny because a lot of people, when I get on the phone, usually it's like, hey, can you order this? Yeah, what information do you need? And it's a hang up. They got to go to their next thing. What I have enjoyed through this is people want to talk on the phone. I've had agents, we're talking for 45 minutes.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm hearing about their daughter and their son that got stuck at college or whatever. So that part has been, you got to find a silver lining. And I've tried to have an attitude of gratitude. I know that sounds cheesy, but if you can focus on that, that's really helped me keep moving with my business. And talking to agents and hearing their stories and what they're going through. And one of my good agent friends lost $2 million deal right as this was happening. That you lose that listing, it's heartbreaking. They take their house off the market. We sat and talked about that for 45 minutes. And my one agent, I'd been talking to her. We did lunch and learn. We did, with her team. And she said, I'm using you. Not only are you my rep, you're my friend now. And to me, that is the greatest.
Great.
If you hear that from someone that you genuinely want to work with because you admire them or that they're honest and they have integrity and they are driven, that's the biggest compliment. So it's really I've been able to cultivate relationships very differently than before. And it's been a unique experience.
Yeah, I've been telling Ruth since this thing started, and we've been talking. The show is there, when there's a trauma or a negative event that causes people heightened emotional states, right? Either fear or anxiety. Those are the times when people need you the most. And there's a short window in the period of life where the people that do a good job of cultivating relationships during those periods of times, they end up blocking that relationship for life, right? Because there's very few moments in our life where we go through a heavy amount of trauma or heightening anxiety. And if someone's there for us that relieves us and makes us feel better or provides us something, that makes us forget about what we're going through, I can tell you those relationships get like bonded for life. And so the agents right now, that's why you want to be like as touching as many people as possible right now, because people are going to remember you because they're going to associate their experience in this major event in the world that we're never going to forget. And if you provide a good experience for them, you're going to get them for life. And the story you just told is a classic example of that.
Yeah. So we have a question for you. Do you warrant fourplexes?
We do. We will warrant any kind of, single family, condo, townhomes, fourplexes. We do not have exclusive fourplex or condo coverage, but we do have a plan that's right on par with that coverage from other companies. We just don't call it condo coverage or fourplex coverage.
But you do warrant them?
Yes, sure.
And how do you do that? By square footage, or how does that part work? Price-wise?
We basically, our plans are cover anything under 5,000 square feet. So a fourplex would be that same. So a lot of times if people don't want to pay the same price as they would for a single family home, then I say, well, let's go with, say, the value plan. You're going to pay a couple $100 less. And, you may not cover a washer and dryer. It may not cover a few other things, or it may not cover your tankless water heater, but it's going to cover basics. So if you're property management, you're always looking at ways to be economical, and that would be an economical way to still have some protection on that fourplex.
That's great. That's really good. So thank you for that question. All right. What else can we?
Yeah, I wanted to say, I remember I'm a big skeptical insurance warranty place until actually when I owned my last home. It was only a 15-year-old home, and I had a plumbing leak and in my upstairs bathroom. It ended up being a crack in the pipe of under the bathtub. And I can tell you, I had a home warranty that was actually purchased from the real estate agent, of the seller, and it ended up being covered. And instead of paying $1,500, for new drywall, a plumbing company come out and all that stuff that they had to do, I paid $75 for the service call. Wow. So that one claim paid 3 years for my home warranty, and I basically had that repair done for free, essentially, and it paid for my home warranty. So I mean, you don't think about it, but when your air conditioner goes out in the summer, and you don't have a warranty, and you got to shell out $2,100 like Ruth had to do, it ends up being a little painful, and you wish you had a home warranty. So
oh yes,
100%, yes. That I like to hear those kind of stories because, insurance can sometimes get a bad rap. We're kind of a hybrid, not a traditional insurance, but if it's used right and up front what is covered, so it's expectation management, and you go in and you get that home warranty, you're going to be okay as long as you understand up front what the exclusions are, because that's usually where the disappointment comes.
What are the typical limits on the claims?
Unfortunately, if you don't read it up front, because everyone is very, very different.
Mm-hmm. What, like in your with a AHG home warranty, like what are the typical limits? Like, do they need to pay attention to that? If I have a $10,000 repair on, what are the typical limits on some of the common stuff?
For our AC coverage, we cover any number of units and no limit on number of repairs. So we right now with this coverage, we are changing it on June 22nd, as I mentioned. We do not have a dollar amount limit for AC. And AC, 89% of the questions I get are about AC coverage.
Sure.
Now, separate from that is refrigerant. So you have to look at that. I spoke the other day about they're not producing any more R22. It's all going to be 410 now. So you have conversions in that you're going to have to look at, because there is a finite amount. With our new coverage, there will be some special allowances for changing over and that kind of thing. So AC right now, we do not quote a dollar limit. Our new coverage is going to be a little different, but I'm excited about it. It's very robust and it's going to be a disruptor. But right now, it's very typical to have, I think our for appliances is like a $1,200 aggregate amount, meaning if you start your policy in, let's say, June, something happens with your dishwasher in August and we pay out $400 to fix it. So you have $800 left for the rest of that contract year to spend on appliance repair. So every home warranty has certain dollar amount limits. And again, that's, knowing that up front and managing those expectations. So, most of them are fairly generous. If you have a dishwasher that's 25 years old, a lot of times what we do is a cash disbursement, or we will give you, say, a gift card to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever for a comparable unit to go get a new one if it's just unfixable. It's 25 years old. This is not a quoted price. This is just for instance, say $350 to go find a dishwasher. You may have to pay an extra $100 on top of that if you want top of the line or something like that.
Sure.
But yeah, you can expect that with most home warranties to have a certain amount of aggregate amounts that are covered.
The other thing that I liked about what I read on your one sheet pricing and coverage is that you do pre-season tune-ups. So if I get a home warranty this month, then in, let's say, November, you can come and do a tune-up on my heating system.
Yep.
And then next February, you'll do a tune-up on my air conditioning system. Is that what I understand?
Yes. We have those 2 months. I believe it's February,
March, and November, December.
November, December. And I highly recommend you do that, because now you've looked at it ahead of time before it gets crazy. Now it doesn't get so crazy in the winter months here for heating. You're not going to have an issue getting someone over. But in the middle of July, if your AC's out, so half the towns is too, so, and there's only so many vendors to work with.
The other thing, Cammie, that I noticed is, in Las Vegas, we still have a lot of air conditioners that are on the roof, or we have air conditioners that are behind, that are hard to get to. And that if there's a crane involved, you pay, the homeowner is not responsible for any part of that crane service.
Correct. Wow. We do cover all of that. Thank you, Ruth. Yes, we do. So you pay your service fee, and we cover that crane service. And that's a little more unique. Not a lot of companies cover that crane service.
Yeah.
And that can be very expensive if you did that out of pocket.
And we look at these things with a fine-tooth comb because we manage 400 properties. And I'll tell you, the worst thing you want to know is that the air conditioner goes out or something big happens and the homeowner says, "What do you mean I don't have a home warranty?"
Yeah.
Because they
Right.
think we're taking care of all those things and that you're telling them when their home warranty is done and when they need to renew it and so on and so forth. So we're very, very fussy about keeping track of those things because, I mean, I just had to spend $2,100 because I
Yeah.
didn't have a home warranty.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Well, you
not
can
a
be
good
fussy with me. I'll be here for you, Ruth.
thank you.
I have a curious question. If either one of you know, when's this whole Freon thing changing, or what year unit do you have to have so it switches over and it's not on the old refrigerant?
I don't know. I don't know the year of unit. I just know but there are plenty of units out right now that have the 410. So
Mhm.
what really happened is at the end of Clinton's administration, you know, the buzzword was ozone layer and everything that was going on, you know, all the damage to the ozone layer. So basically at the end of his administration, he said, by the year 2020, we will not produce any more R22 refrigerant. And that's because it was damaging to the ozone, not good for the environment. So here we are, 2020. So here we are at summer, and there's a finite amount they're not producing anymore. We have, because we've known a long time as a home warranty company that this was coming. Most home warranty companies should have enough refrigerant to get them at least through this summer. But once it's gone, it's gone. And if you have a unit, you're gonna have to do one of two things: an older unit, you're gonna have to replace it or convert it.
Mhm.
And I don't know price. I'm not an air conditioning expert.
Sure.
But definitely, if it were me, I would probably be getting a new unit that takes the 410 instead of trying to convert, especially if it's 20 years old. I'm not sure it'd be worth the money trying to convert it rather than just go get a new unit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that price.
Well, get a home warranty.
Well, so let me ask you this. I mean, if we get the home warranty and my unit's only about 6 years old, so it's not that old.
Mhm.
And say something catastrophic happens, there's just major manufacturer error, whatever, it blows up or something, within it, right? And it's covered by the warranty. Well, and it will, and there's no R22 refrigerant left at that point. Now, do you know if the home warranty will cover getting a new unit, a cost of a new unit that will take the new refrigerant, or will they try to do the conversion and try to fix it?
Those always come on a case by case basis
Mhm.
because they look at conversion versus replacement. At the end of the day, it's a business and people are going to
Yeah.
look at bottom line. So that
Yeah.
is something that our inside AC expert, they analyze the data and say, okay, what is the most cost effective way and the way we can best satisfy this customer when it comes to that. We haven't had a ton of cases yet, but I'm glad you brought that up because it's going to come up. That issue is going to come up.
The next 5 to 10 years, I anticipate that's going to come up quite a bit.
Yes.
Yes, and what I think is going to happen if it's a younger unit like yours, people are going to end up converting rather than putting out the money, and that's up to the home warranty's discretion if they decide to convert versus replacement, because it'll depend on if it's what's cost effective.
Right. So here's a tip for real estate agents here. I would start targeting homes with older AC units, because I can tell you as a homeowner, I might want to just move and buy another house with an AC unit that has the upgraded unit that takes the 410. So I mean, that's his thought
a
as a
great
homeowner.
tip.
I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, I don't
It's
know
a
if I want
great
to
tip.
deal with all that stuff.
Yeah.
And my wife's been wanting a house with a pool anyways. Maybe it's time just to move and not have to deal with this, in
Right.
the next few years. So
Yeah.
interesting. No, good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We've been going on here 45 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, Cammie, I want to say something first, though.
Go
I want
ahead.
to compliment you for coming on. One, you were early to the show. Two, you have very proper lighting in your camera shots. So it looks like you've been doing these at home and Zoom meetings well prepared. So, I want to appreciate, and you came off very knowledgeable, and the good feel, the good vibes come across. So we appreciate you coming on. Ruth, any last words?
The last words are that we are doing a class on Wednesday, social media platforms. It's a CE class for general, and Jimmy Dague and I will be doing it. And you can go to b.vegas to sign up. Cammie, give me your phone number real quick. 702
704 0340.
I'm afraid if I put that flyer up, we won't be able to see anybody. So there you go. So that's Cammie, 702-704-0340. Give her a call. I think it's important that agents have the knowledge that to talk about these issues that we talked about today. And you make it real easy when you go in to get a listing or you're trying to get your buyer to buy. That this is a great sheet that your company puts out, and you have a great like Max just said, you're just like filled with knowledge, and that's knowledge is power, and you've got it. And I really appreciate you for coming on board today. And we talked about everything, and you did everything, and yeah, it was. Yes, we've had our challenges in the past. So B.Vegas, go sign up for its elective top technical platforms to better serve your clients. And we will see you tomorrow morning. I have a little bit of a 15-minute show on Sunday mornings. We talk a little bit of some spiritual things and some words of encouragement for everybody. So I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And thank you, everybody. We love you.
Yep.
And have
a good morning.
And happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. That's for sure.
Thank you so much.